explore the whole universe. If you at least get that out there, you have people saying, now wait a minute. Here's what we actually can do, and I don't think we can actually do what you're talking about. So I like the hype in this case, and I think the hype is good because we're sort of standing looking at a big horizon, and we don't know what we can actually reach out there and what we can't and what it will mean. One of the more recent stories I did was about one of our professors in the School of Engineering who's doing a lot of work with nano motors and nano machines. It's really, you can talk to him for 10 minutes and it sounds like science fiction, but he says, this is stuff that's really possible, he thinks. But on the other hand, he's also involved in a program to, along with other colleagues, to look at nanotechnology and the impact on society that it will have. So I don't think it's a case of, well, scientists are going to go do these crazy things and it's going to be dangerous and they're going to get us into trouble. At the same time, I do see people worried about the ethical implications, the societal implications, being very concerned about sort of what will we rot if we just, if nanotechnology takes off and starts making us capable of all these things like, I don't know, reading minds or something like that. So there is at least that concern about, okay, we've got this wild and crazy technology, we may be able to do almost unfathomable things. There are people starting to get concerned about, okay, if this does move ahead, and as you know, technology sometimes moves ahead of our ability to grasp what's going on. We have people thinking about what are the social implications, what are the philosophical implications, what are the ethical issues that we have to deal with. So that to me I think is a good sign. The other sign is, to be blunt about it, people have to get more educated in what they're talking about and not just trap themselves in an ideology, that I think it will hurt us more and more to not have a well-informed public, and I think the biggest sin we commit is to be willfully uninformed. I belong to this political party, I'm this, I'm that, therefore I believe this. Got to get out of that or we're in trouble. That's what I have to say.
Thank you both. At this point, I'd like to open the mic up to questions from the floor. There's one way in the back, one way up there.
So, Mr. Garreau, my question my rant rather than question is directed to you. I think it's completely unfair for scientists the way you said that they have no idea what they are doing and they are simply taking things to extreme and science fiction. I mean, especially your comment where, oh yeah, we have this ASC Nano fab and God knows what they are doing about it. I actually work there. So, I very well know what I'm doing.
I'm sorry, that was a joke.
Exactly, that's my point. And the point leads to is that science has been often crucified in terms of satire and sarcasm. I mean, I'd like to ask how many people here have seen the moon landing? And that's a glorious event. But everybody just, oh yeah, it's been done. Forget it. I mean, this is what just sort of gets me riled up, because the amount of effort scientists put in to move the society, that's just simply washed away. Nobody acknowledges that. And as far as science fiction is concerned, science does move by imagining things. I mean, Albert Einstein said, I'll take imagination over logic any day. So when you say the hype is there, hype is actually created by people who are popular science writers, who don't really understand science, but then they make up things. For example, molecular motors. I mean, scientists don't talk about that, but it's out there. So it just, I don't understand how this happens.
Well, when I say hype, I'm using it in the context of I think that what scientists are saying should get out there and what other people are saying about what scientists get out there, so that we have in our society a debate about, I mean, sometimes in a way I think it's good for someone to make grand, broad statements so other people can react to those and say, yeah, you're right, here's why I agree, or no, here's why I don't agree. Speaking in that context, I think the hype is good. The nanotechnology has such potential for such revolutionary change that people need to hear about it, and that debate needs to take place so that people eventually understand more.
I'm glad you said that, because I would like to raise another point, which is the whole image of scientists which is created. I mean, right now, okay, crazy scientists, destroying the world. But there is the immediate problem which comes here is, jobs are being outsourced. Jobs are going to India, into China. But I don't think anybody has ever sat down and did a study is what is the image of scientists in US versus image of scientists in India and China. I mean, if every kid here wants to become either a lawyer or a rock star or a basketball player, and if you guys go and talk to people in electrical engineering or computer science or any other engineering science department, you'll see you have international students working. So, on one side, you paint the picture of scientists saying these are the crazy people, they are going to destroy the world, and on the other hand, the rant is, our jobs are going to China and India. I just can't understand how that doesn't seem to get through people's minds.
I think a lot of these wounds are self-inflicted. I think that, in Washington, it just drives me nuts. One of the reasons this stuff doesn't get taken seriously in Washington is you hear people in the same sentence combine, something that actually exists with something that's the wildest science fiction, and they don't make a distinction between the two. It's one of the reasons it doesn't get taken seriously. I think we could do ourselves a world of good by making it real clear what exists, what's a fact, and what's a speculation, and what's non-fiction, and what's fiction. And I can't tell you how often I've seen those lines blurred to the point where you just have no idea how to disassemble this. That's why I was trying to offer in my production speech a little structure about how to deal with this. If you start convincing people that you're only talking like a comic book superhero, well, of course they're going to dismiss you, and correctly so. It matters that you clearly label what you're stating, whether this is fact, opinion, speculation, something else. There's a lot of these are self-inflicted wounds. Don't blame the media.
Okay, on a similar point, I have 2 points. The first point, there is seriously nobody at NASA who believes a space elevator is possible. Nobody. The only
Have you been on their website?
The only people who believe this is a group of lobbyists in Japan. Nobody at NASA believes that space elevators are available or possible within our lifetime. And the fact that I've done a lot of research on this, and my major, I have a lot of background on this kind of stuff too. So the fact that you would...
It was on their website 2 years ago when last I checked.
Okay, was it on their website written by, a
No, on their website, their official website. I haven't checked it in 2 years, but it was on their website.
Okay, my point is there's nobody that believes this stuff is possible, and the fact that you're saying this kind of stuff, this goes against this whole, is it hype or is it reality type of thing. You're doing disservice by informing by...
I'm reporting what was on their website.
Okay.
That's a report, that's a fact.
Okay.
It was on their website.
Okay.
What do you want from me?
Well, I can't really pull up a website right now. Anyways, moving on. The person in the blue, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Joe.
He's Joe, I'm Joel.
You said earlier that, the people who make decisions, they're well informed, the scientists, the engineers, and then you also said the policymakers, the legislatures. I think it's a pretty clear fact that legislators are not informed, because there are a lot of legislators, senators, representatives,